Hey there, folks. Welcome in to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Day by Day. We're in like four. I want to say 436. I'm not exactly sure, but we're close to there. Anyway, you're probably seeing this about the time I'm getting ready to go vacation. I want you to know that I'm not going on a vacation until the end of the month. So for me, this is still the 14th. It's going to be the refresh for the 15th. So yeah, we're probably going to have plenty of. Probably not going to miss anything at all. So it'll probably be a natural transition. So you'll have the videos the whole time, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'll come back whenever, and I'll be like, "Hey guys, just got back from vacation. Hope you didn't miss me." And you'll be like, "What? You were gone?" I'll be like, "Yeah." So, in case you're wondering how that's going to go, it's probably going to go something a little long like that. Guys, I know. I hear what a lot of you are saying about higher relics, especially you, Matt. Even though this, like I said, we're whatever. But guys, it's what I'm doing is imperfect. I admit that. It's imperfect. It's not going to be perfect. All it is a journey to see, so you can sort of see my journey for lack of a better term. I don't claim to be an expert. Maybe I was just thinking about this earlier today. And I'm like, I am so envious of people that because I started playing this game in February of 23, and so this account obviously started April, Mayish of 23, but I'm just like, based upon everything that I've seen, I'm like, I'm so envious of the people that were playing. Maybe you started playing at the beginning of 2023, or in November of 2023, or in August, or in May of 22. I'm sorry. If you were playing, 6 months before me, so like the end of 22 or 9 months ahead of me, and you're like 4 million and you haven't spent a dime, and you're like, maybe you have a GL and you have all this. Hats off to you, because it's like the way this game is going, and I hope some of you agree with me, is this game is getting super, like, where you just have to make so many calculations, especially with I don't know if you've noticed the way the game has been going since. I don't know that it happened with Jabba, and I don't think anybody felt it with the indoor raid, because like I said, everybody had those troopers, and by and large part, you probably at least had Imperial troopers. They gave you Moff Gideon at the beginning. Everybody generally farms Iden, Veers, Piet, Dark, whatever troopers. Maybe you have a Lando. Maybe you obviously have Hera for the Phoenix by and large. You probably have Akbar for a fleet. You probably have Han and Chewie if you're doing CLS. If you have 3PO, obviously have Ewoks, and so you have a lot of those. But this raid, this Naboo raid, maybe you have droids. And I really feel like droids are more of a mid-game team, unless you're just passionate about droids. You probably have Qui-Gon, you probably have Mace, you might have Yoda, but who else beyond that do you have? Do you have Luminara? Do you have Kit Fisto? Do you have Plo? Maybe if you have the Negotiator, you have Plo, but if you don't have Negotiator, you probably don't have Plo. But Eve Koth, Kit Fisto, Luminara, and then the everybody that came out around Queen of Madal and the Gungans, unless you're like past mid game, or if you're past mid game, there's a chance that you have at least some of that. And obviously, if you have teams that you're able to do like normal conquest well, or hard conquest, I mean, you're doing great. Like if you just said, okay, if you started the game and you said, okay, I'm doing CLS, and because I love A New Hope, and I'm taking CLS to Relic 7 before I do anything else, because that could be very profitable if you just start the game and you just say, okay, I'm going for CLS. What do I need for the CLS team? You do everything. Maybe you don't take the Ewoks up, but the bounty hunters, and maybe the bounty hunters are team after you're done with CLS, you come back to. You use them to get Chewbacca, and then after you have Chewbacca, you go and you do the whole thing. And then after you get the CLS team to Relic 7, you come back and you're like, okay, now let's do the bounty hunters. And then you're just doing that. You're like, okay, CLS is done. I'm just focusing straight on CLS until I get to Relic 7. And then I'm strictly focusing on these 5 bounty hunters until I get to Relic 7. And then you have a choice. Do I want to go back and get more bounty hunters? Or do I want to do something like Imperial Troopers? Because, but it's like, I just don't do that because I know there's so many things that I need. Because in some sense, I have information overload just because of the way I've decided to do this farm, where it's like I've watched all these videos. I've watched Newt. I've watched Nooch. I've watched Gerbil. I've watched Arnold. I watched all these guys, and they're when I started out, I was all about ships. Since then, I've sort of transitioned again out of ships to where I'm trying to get to where I'm just right now. What I'm actually focused on is assault battles and conquest. And, because I know because of research, hey, what are useful conquest teams? And that's where I'm focused on. And then obviously it's proving grounds, and it's like, I want to be able to get the characters out of proving grounds. And, crazy me, I want to try to do it free to play. And that can be very challenging. Or there's the person, like, if, hey, you need to start a rush. You need to start going for a GL right now. You need to go for a JML. And it's like, we're going for Leia. Which I was thinking, and we have to talk about this, actually. I was thinking earlier. Because like I said, you're going to see this about 2 weeks. But for me, earlier today, I saw that Arnold on the 14th of July, the 14th of July, Arnold did a video where he's got this whole Kyber's conspiracy thing. He's like, I know who the requirements are going to be for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. And he's going through all these guys, and he's like, Cup is going to be a requirement for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. And if it is, I kind of think if Cup is, then I kind of can't. Then you know what? I think everybody and their mom is screwed if it's Cup. Now, if you're a person that's like, yeah, I don't want to tell nobody because I think that makes me a moron, but I've had Cup at Relic 1 waiting. Just waiting for this announcement, just in case. Then kudos to you, but it's like until they actually announce it, it's like, is anybody actually going to say anything or what? And he's like, Clone Wars Chewbacca is going to be a requirement for Galactic Legend is Ahsoka Tano. And it's like, that's okay. But I went through, and I think right now we can all agree that for the most part, the reason they're doing Ahsoka and all of these people is because they want to use them for the next raid. Which, if you listen to the episode of Great Expectations that I listened to with Sarah, and see, like Sarah, they're saying, oh yeah, the next raid will come out in the middle of March. Because that'll be February, March, because that'll be 7 months from now. 7.5 months from now. And I'm like, okay. And then I get to thinking, I'm like, who's likely to be in this next raid? And I think it's fairly obvious it's going to be all or most of the requirements for Ahsoka. It's going to be Ahsoka. Whoever's on our team, I think it's going to be Remnant. I think it's going to be Night Sisters. I think it has a chance to be characters from the Mandoverse. I think it's going to be mercenaries. That's if you were saying, who do you think is going to be Night Sisters, mercenaries, characters from the Mandoverse, Imperial Remnant, maybe Phoenix. And that's about it. So what I did, when you're going to think this is nuts, by the way, what I did was I did this. The tab is called Geo Tanto. Well, you can't see me because I'm in the way. It's called Geo Tano and Raid. It's where I speculate about who's going to be in this upcoming raid. And I'll just take you through it. Mommy Mandalore, the entire Mommy Mandalore squad. Phoenix. More Phoenix, Snips, Barris, a Stormtrooper because he's an Imperial Remnant. More Imperial Remnant. General Skywalker, once again, because he's a requirement for what's-her-face, for Leia already. The rest of the 501st. I don't know that it will, but kinda, maybe. Night Sisters. Yeah, this is as far as I've gotten. So, I mean, obviously, you could put like Cara Dune, Mando, Grief, Quill, maybe. But basically anybody that's in the farm for Leia, for Ahsoka, I think is fair game. And just the Mommy Mando team, the Phoenix, the Remnant, Night Sisters, I think they all kind of make sense. So, I don't know. Just because I feel because we didn't know what the requirements were before 2 weeks before this raid came out. I'm kind of grit my teeth because I don't like this feeling. I don't like the feeling of, hey, there's a new raid out and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not fun. It's not a fun feeling, and I don't enjoy it at all. Because I have 2 squads. I bought the pack on 2 accounts, my oldest account and my Hyperlight account. And the original account is doing better than my Hyperlight account. Why? Because I didn't have any spare Zetas. I put the Zeta on Luminara, and so that team's able to do fairly well. But the Hyperlight account, because I don't have that Zeta, it's not doing well at all. It's just not doing well at all. And that is a touch discouraging. It's more than a touch, but you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't make you feel good. That's for certain. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm so keen on, hey, there's this 3-man team that could do so well. If it's a 3-man team, if I can do it and not have to put much investment in there, even though they are all 3 useful characters, then why not take a shot and see what I can make happen? That's why we're working. That's why we decided to fit in this little 4-man team with Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, and Newt Gunray. Because if we can get it up to, if we can do it, if we can, maybe we have to backburner the CLS team a little bit. Maybe instead we stick all the stuff on whoever and we just call it good. Maybe we just muscle up and take these characters to Relic and be like, okay, that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on Thrawn, by the way. All right, so we don't need much for this because we got this piece for him. We need to finish this up, which we're close. And then, of course, we need these, which we're pretty close on too. And then in terms of who's going to win, Palpy just needs, a butt ton of these. When he gets a butt ton of those, they'll be done. But until we get a butt ton of those, it's going to be a while. But, those are 2 guys. Once we theoretically get to Gear 13, we can be like, okay. And that's honestly probably what I'm going to do. When they get to Gear 13, we're just going to be like, okay, bye. We'll see you. Why? Just because I want that team to be in Relics, but at the same time, I wasn't anticipating having to bring these 3 individuals up. And so I'm like, yeah, we can backburner them for now because they'll still be able to function because we have Vader up. And we have, what's it say? It's RG. And then obviously when we get Mara up, she's going to be, when we're able to actually, we could actually start working on gearing Mara a little bit more. But, which, I honestly don't want to do that until I get done with Palpy, Thrawn, and we get these 2 jokers into Gear 12 at least. Then maybe we'll actually be able to move and do something. But until that happens, we're not going to be able to do anything. But it's just, if the raid would have been, 9 months like it said it was going to be, like we were supposed to get with Indoor, if they would have announced the requirements, and then we would have a little bit more time, like if we could have made it to the middle of August or something before we got the raid. Instead of, but I know what they're doing. They're trying to make everybody buy, but it's not exactly. If you're trying to strike a balance between customer goodwill and getting people to buy, because if people are going to buy, they're going to buy regardless. If people aren't going to spend, like, I'm not going to spend until they give me a C. Like, I'm serious. If they don't give me C, I can have, if they don't give me, I'm not leveling Krennic. I keep hitting on that, but I will literally never have C on this account unless they be like, hey, here's $10. If it's more than $10, And it's literally, they just have to give me a director clinic at 7 stars, tier 13. That's it. I don't, it'd be nice if it was Relic 3, but I'm just essentially spending $10 so I don't ever have to touch director clinic. That's it. That's the whole, everything of the whole thing. But yeah, I'm I do know that I need to work on teams, but it's like I'm like, I need 1,200 Kairos to be able to. I need 1,200 of these scrap pieces to be able to take my team up to Rock 3. But it's like, in doing that, if I get this little 3-man team up, it would just be nice to use the same amount of Kairos just to take those 3 characters to, and that's, we would have to do to have 1,800 up, because we'd have to do Relic 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually 800 per character, so that would be 2,400 data pads that we would need, which would mean we would need twice as many as we're working on. But if we can just tuck into Relic 3, which I'm thinking is probably where we need to be, that's obviously only 1,200. Yeah, 1,200. Sorry, which is right where we need to be, honestly. So that's probably what we're going to do. And I know it's not. The best thing, but it is what it is. But anyway, I'm really happy that you decided to spend this time with me. I hope I've given you something to think about. I'm going to go ahead and go, because all I'm going to be doing is just rambling and talking about. But I want to leave you with this before you go, if you're still here. Just consider what you're doing. Just think about it a little bit more, ponder it a little bit more. And I'm not necessarily talking about this game, because this game is just, it's a pastime. It's a way to pass the time. But in things that actually matter, I want to encourage you just to think about. I just want to take you the time to really consider what you're doing. Really consider the choices that you're making as you go through your day, the people you're interacting with, and consider that, maybe to you they're just a number or a name on a piece of paper or a random person that you saw once. But I want you to realize that that person that you had the interaction with is a person with a name, is a person with a family, and is a person that actually matters in the grand scheme of things. Whether it's me, whether it's whoever, everybody matters, including you. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you'll take the time to maybe slow down and relax and not rush around, and really consider things a little bit more deeply. But anyway, as always, God bless. Hold the line. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.